let's talk about the Dalek Masterplan, which you can, I think if you go to Ian Levine's Facebook group, and he will tell you a person you need to ask to get a link to it. It's I just got something about so. What was it? One second, let me just open that up. Anyone can get it now. I don't think he wants you to show any any clips of it on while reviewing it. That being said, though, I think I'm going to show a couple quick ones because it's important to see what this is. Now, firstly, what's going in its favor is you've got great performances from William Hartnell. It's a genuinely great piece of Doctor Who, right? It is absolutely. It's the opposite of the Underwater Menace, right? It's genuinely a fantastic piece of Doctor Who, right? William Hartnell's performance is great. The story is good. It's a great blend of adventure, action, intrigue. You get to meet Katerina for the first time, and so that was actually quite good as well. Because man, she looks gorgeous in this. Adrian Hill. You do get somewhat of a feeling of motion and movement. It's a significant step up from the telesnaps, but for me, it just doesn't really work. Right? It's everything is looks like the pictures with just the mouth moving. Yeah, I'll show you. Now, sometimes it's really great, but sometimes they cut very, very disjointedly because they don't have enough source material to work from. They're working. Dalek Masterplan didn't have any telesnaps. The telesnaps, if you don't know, in the 60s, because they didn't have VCRs, they would have actors pay this guy called John Cura, who was a big one, would take pictures of you when you're on screen that you would use in your portfolio, in your resume, right? We don't have any telesnaps, so the visual material they have is very, very limited, and it really, really shows, right? Because a lot of it, it seems to be like the apps you have on your phone, where you have, you make somebody speak and say something, and you take a two-dimensional picture and have them weirdly move around and talk, right? I think we've all seen those apps, and where again, I think this works better than a lot of the other reconstructed we saw, particularly the Gary Russell ones, right? The what's it called again? Not the Web of Fear. The Web of Fear extra episode. Missing everything. That was awful. That's the worst, right? That's absolutely the worst. So this works better than that. I think it works better than the what was it called again? Fury from the Deep and the Abominable Snowman, right? I think both of those were quite significant fails. But equally, there's things you have in this reconstruction that you cannot get in other types of reconstruction docs too. This really, you get a feeling of the performance being portrayed, and it's really quite nice. But because I tried watching it on my big screen TV, and I did. It's 22 minutes long. I watched it, and it's very noticeable that it's like they keep using the same images over and over again. So here, let's have a look at a couple of moments of it, so you get what I'm saying. Doink. Now, I don't know any way to go and support. I think I might support this, right? Depends how much he was asking. He was asking too much for the Massacre. Like if I could watch that for $20, I would watch that for $20, right? Even again, I just feel the Massacre reconstruction is an animated one. I just feel, right, that is a completely outmoded form of reconstruction. Callum Weston changed everything with his Celestial Toymaker reconstruction, which is by far the best, right? By far the better than Cosgrove Hall Invasion, which was the first one they did. So here, there are people who paid for this, and so he doesn't want the whole thing being shown, obviously. But so this is one of the better bits, actually. We're here. We see this a bit of Brian Can action, but they use this frame a lot to make him speak.
Solar system is finished. I know.
So it's more successful with Brian Cant, right? Can't remember the name, but yeah, it is Brian Cant. I think that. But like it changes too often. Like you see this piece of film quite a few times over, right? That being said, yeah. So they're talking about this bit. They're talking about wanting to see Maverick Chen at the same time. I think somebody else wants to say it. And again, it's clear these are still photos animated. Here, you'll see.
Now, if I had the latest Flip T4...
it's a trifle brash, isn't it? There are other space vessels, you know.
Yeah, you see what I mean? So, look, for me, I don't think it's releasable, right? I don't think it's professional. I think it's really important, really, 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 really important that the people are pushing things forward, especially Ian Levine. I got nothing but respect for him for putting this together, right? I think it's really, really important these things are pushed forward. Apparently, his reconstruction, animated photos, Peter Rich says, apparently his reconstruction he did of the massacre, which looked pretty good. Hey, can I find that? Let me see if I can find that on his Twitter. Did he go through the round window? It's a Brian Cat. I know. It's amazing when you realize who that is. Let me look at Ian Levine's Twitter, see if I can find pictures of Ian Levine. There we go. Man, there's an Ian Levine and an Ian Levine XXX. Maybe they're the same person. Oh, fine. So he literally just posted that 14 years ago. He paid for animated by the superb David Bush, who worked on Power of the Dark, all of Daz Ahmed animation. Offered it free of charge to BBC Studios, and they still refuse. So let's look at this thing. They refuse from BBC Studios. And it really is. I've seen this before. This really is genuinely infuriating, right? Here, 1 second. I believe he also offered Massacre to BBC, and they said, "Nah, screw you." Why? I like this one really is of. I think it's of the same quality as the Ice Warriors release. But let's see if I can find it's Mission to the Unknown. Wait. There's something else I wanted to show you on Dalek Masterplan as well. Celestial Toymaker. Celestial Toymaker, he rips apart all the time. Quite understandably, it's shite. Can I find any... let me go and look at his media. Let's see if I can find any bits of Dalek Masterplan. We're thinking through it. Okay, season 15. That's coming out in about under a week now. That's really exciting. Oh, there's some stills from it. Again, if I could just buy this, right? I would, right? I would, because it looks pretty darn good. Here, doink. All right, open this up over here. Share screen. So apparently, yeah, he offered this to the BBC. And look, I think the quality is probably lower than that of the that Brian Cant. Yes, it was lower quality than one there. But I don't know. It seems weird they would reject it. It seems more like a personal thing. But here, let's have a quick look at his Mission to the Unknown animated, which I think works somewhat better than the AI one.
We won't make the rendezvous with the freighter, you know? If we're not in the pickup orbit, they won't wait.
You make it, Larry. Here you are.
Yeah, so you see, you don't really get performances out of this. Whereas this new method, yeah, you 100% get performances. Let me open up the... But I want to quickly show you Maverick Shen's face, right? It's like you go, wait, what? Where is it? Maverick Shen. He's clearly playing this in blackface, right? That's clearly Kevin Stoney in blackface, right? It's very weird, right? Yeah, I think you get more Kevin Stoney later, do you? Oh no, I think he turns up later. So yeah, there's stuff where they really have no visual record at all. Like this was a great little touch, by the way. The Doctor has a magnetic chair, he calls it, where people sit in there and they can't get out to keep Nicholas Courtney prisoner. By the way, Nicholas Courtney in this, brilliant. Oh, it's so nice seeing him, right? It's so nice seeing him. I want to try and get a bit of the William Hartnell performance because that really works so well. Where is that? But generally speaking, I found it confusing to watch and disjointed, and I wasn't clear what was really going on. Let's see what this is.
Sure. So I want you to do that straight away. I have my key to let myself in. Yes, this child, key. This open.
So again, you see, it's actually it's better than I thought it would be, right? It's better than I thought it would be. But there's just not enough visual material, right? The way I think this can really be done, right, is refilming it, right? You need to refilm everything, which I understand, much more expensive, but you know, it's much more. But I think that's the way of doing this, right? Which means the production costs are going to be like a new episode. I would not the new series, not the new super high budget ones, right? The college kids that did it, right? They were they did Mission Unknown as well. So do that, and then use face swap technology, which that works a treat, and it's basically free, right? Use face swap technology, and then dub in the lines and use the lip sync to get the line. Then it actually works, but there's just not enough visual material to make this work, right? Which is a pity, right? It's a pity because I really did want it to work, right? I really did, and it's a great effort, right? Here, I'll show you some of the performance at the beginning, which is really good. Here, so, but you see, like the lip sync is off, and the Katerina stuff really comes alive.
Can we have reached the place of perfection so soon?
Trouble is, again, they only have that one picture of her.
Well, I rather doubt it. At least that is, we should be stopping at a lot of places before that. Now, I want you to look after Stephen, if you will. See,
that's a real, genuine performance, which you don't get with the animated reconstructions. Still, the gold standard. The gold standard still remains Callum Weston's Celestial Toymaker, which was fine. And now I always have to show a clip of that because you got to remember. So it's always somebody's first video, right? So here, let me just pull that up for a second. Doink. And Doctor Who, First Doctor. Doink. Where we are to Special Toymaker. Here we go. Doink.
Following is.
I'll just show a moment of it.
Child, nonsense.
Hey, look at...
So what makes this work better? Firstly, it's completely original material, right? But what makes this work better is that it's Callum's direction, right? Callum's direction. He really knows what he's doing, right? His visual choices are stronger than anybody else I've seen. And I think that's what...
We're landing now, Doctor.
Good. That means the gravitational bearing must have rectified itself.
Yeah, so for me, that this is a massively superior, and this is still the best one, right? Absolutely best one. And I think they should be doing nothing else other than this, right? This is the only way to go, and refining this. If you can do photorealistic models, do photorealistic models, right? I don't think they're that far off, right? I don't think that they're that far off. He's a really talented guy, and that he wasn't instantly hired by Wolf Studios or BBC. It just shows you how absolutely messed up things are, right? How insanely messed up things are. Well, how messed up are things? Well, I'll show you. Share screen. Doink. Ian Levine's Dalek Masterplan there. I mean, Masker. Masker's a great story, by the way. Masker's a great story. So Ncuti Gatwa was at the Oscars. He was out and about at the Oscars. I wish, for the love of God, that Ncuti wouldn't look like a twat every time I see him, right? Because apparently later in the day, this was the outfit he went for. I mean, fucking hell, Ncuti. Like, what? Can you just be normal for 10 fucking seconds? Right? Yeah, no, this doesn't look good. You look like a twat. Right? You're welcome. Like, what the fuck? Like, everything's a weird gay thing with him. Like, literally everything's a weird gay thing. There he looked a bit more normal. Let's see a couple of video clips. I mean, just like, what is he wearing? Somebody explain it to me. We go, doink. Ncuti at the Oscars.
What do I even ask? What does it feel like to be Doctor?
Surreal, so surreal. I can't believe it, but it feels quite like being like here.
Who's that? I don't even know who that is. And honestly, I find him genuinely charming. Right? There's so much I like about him. Can you just get out of your gay bubble for 10 fucking seconds? You can suck as many cocks as you like. Right? But like, give it a rest, darling. I mean, genuinely give it a rest.
It feels amazing to play that role. It's such an iconic British role, and for it to be me to get to play it feels.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to his casting. I know a lot of people are. Me, I'm not. Okay, vive la différence. But then he does all this weird shit all the time. Well, you know he wasn't looking at her tits. Yeah, he was in Barbie. That's why he was there. He was in the song.
It was impossible to shoot.
Yeah, they're excited now. They didn't know Barbie wasn't going to win anything.
How are you? You look so handsome.
Oh, you look so handsome. Oh, yeah, well, he does. Raymond Williams quite correctly says this, and I don't disagree with you. Sorry, I can't stand this guy. He's constantly look at me. But I think he's quite charming about it as well. But I do agree with you.
So if you could both.
Okay, 1 second. So then he was very parenthetically part of the show. Apparently he flew out on Thursday, rehearsed on Friday, and the show was on Sunday. Where is it? So you had a moment in the Oscars. Yeah, who gives a shit about this? With Ryan, was it Ryan Gosling? Not Ryan. Yeah, Ryan Gosling does it. I'm Just Ken. Ryan Gosling is quietly becoming a real movie star at the moment, right? So he does this big musical number about I'm Just Ken. Yeah, so I like him a lot. I liked him in Blade Runner 2049. Here, 1 second. I think Ncuti Gat was one of these people. Yeah, there's Simi Lau there, who is like, oh, man, his 5 minutes of fame is over, mate. Here. I think we see Ncuti in a minute. There he is. He was fine thrusting his groin out in the stage. So I think it's probably the best thing about the Barbie movie. So yeah, can we see any more Ncuti? Also, Ncuti Gatwa, I forgot to mention. There he was. There's what's his name? He's at the front. Let's see if they can keep in unison. Let's have a look. Man, look at the difference between Shooter's performance and Simi Lau next to him. Right, one is actually a performance. The other one, and honestly, he's very good with the physical game. But look at this, hey, man, what a difference! Yeah, so he was at the Oscars, and who cares? I mean, I'm kind of sick of him being a media darling. They're mad at Rusty Davis now, right? Why are they mad at Rusty Davis? For a couple of things. That he liked John Barrowman saying there's so much excitement from being on the wheel. And also all the love, darling, to Tracy Ann Oberman. Now, Tracy Ann Oberman is an evil person now, apparently. You know why she's an evil person? Because she evilly, just pure evil, right? Pure evil. She evilly said the using rape as a weapon of war is a bad thing, right? Not a good thing. In fact, here, one second. I think I saw it on Tim Pool's feed. Wonder if anybody found out if this was real or not. Doink. There we go. It's over here. Go down. Oh, I hate it when you see something and then it doesn't come up until you like scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll. No, it's not there. Oh, here it is. Yeah. Let's see if it's been community noted. Do we find out it's not real? No. Oh, where'd it go? Doink, press the wrong button. Come on. Doink. Hang on. Let this open up. Save image as. We'll try that. Okay. Doink. I think I found it. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so so Tracy Ann Oberman feels that rape is resistance is not a good thing, right? Free Palestine by any means necessary, including raping people you've already murdered, right? Yeah. No. If you're on the side that says rape is resistance, yes, you indeed are supporting terrorists and being anti-Semitic. Yes. Anyway, so they don't like Tracy Ann Oberman because she feels that rape is not resistance. So Rusty Davis still hasn't spoken about Noel or Barrowman, and now we know why. While staying silent about Millie, and of course, the awful situation Chris had to endure. What awful situation? He didn't have to watch his Doctor Who. We had the awful situation when we had to watch his Doctor Who. Rusty Davis continues to be the worst modern showrunner in terms of conduct. Scripts aside, Moffat and Chris never had this. I hate to tell you, I might agree with him for different reasons. I might well agree with him. Anyway, so they are mad with him because he liked John Barrowman and what's his name? John Barrowman and Tracy Ann Oberman. So he starts getting scolded by the idiots. Russell. What kind of face emoji is that? Amazed emoji? I know. What you doing liking this man? He got his dick out on your set. Stay far away from him, please. I don't think Russell's scared about a dick coming out on set. Right? I will be. I think if Jinx Monson's dick came out on set, feminine though it is, he wouldn't be scared of giving that a blowjob. They were rumors. No investigation actually happened. They don't care. Right? They don't care. So this guy, Mr. Trilby, he is okay. I think he's a real anti-Semite. I think he's a real genuine anti-Semite. He always likes to accuse people of anti-Semitism. He accuses me, or anytime I'm mentioning him, have white supremacists in his mentions, and that's not true. He's an absolute liar. And I can say he's an absolute liar because I've caught him lying many times. Tory MP Miriam Cates, those demanding a ceasefire tonight will not stop at that. They will call for boycotts of Israel and arms embargo prosecutions of Israel by the UN. Yes, everyone should, and no one doesn't make, and no, that doesn't make any. Yes, everyone should, and no, that doesn't make everyone anti-Semitic. It does if you're holding us to a different standard, right? It does. So this guy, again, big anti-Semite. People who demand good things might also demand other things. Okay, again, why, Mr. Trilby? Why is it? Why was it okay for Hamas to rape and murder people? Was it because of the 75 years of occupation? You will probably say. Well, for your 75 years of occupation, I think it's 75 years of pure Jew hatred. Right? We want to live in peace with them. We've offered them over and over again. They said, no, we will kill you, Jew, because you're a Jew. And October 7th wasn't an aberration. This is the norm. Right? We're trying not to be murdered. And I understand that, like, people are upset a lot of times. You know, you have, there's a reason why vegetarians want you to see scenes from an abattoir, or pro-life people want you to see what an abortion really looks like, because the reality of that puts you off doing those things. The reality of war puts you off wanting to do war, unless you're Hamas, who will still very much on board for it, right? So, the reality is that when England, in every conflict England was in with World War II, Desert Storm, about minimally there's anything between 4 and 8 civilians died for each enemy combatant. Even going by Hamas numbers, it's, I think, 3 for every enemy combatant. It's probably less than that. And many of our soldiers who have been killed protecting, going out of their way to protect Palestinians. Or going out of their way to make sure that there's minimal friendly fire. Right? Yeah, that's actually a reality that we're living with. So anyway, so he jumps right on board with this, Mr. Trilby. There he is. Well, you know, that's what David conducts himself on Instagram. A few months back, he was liking comments from Ncuti referring to his BBC. Big black cock? Is that what he's talking about? Which absolutely is unbecoming of somebody you're creatively the boss of. I hate to agree with him. I mean, if that was true, I just don't believe any word that comes out of Mr. Trilby's mouth, though. So the comments abounded. If Chimo had liked to comment saying that Barrowman was only rumored to have sexually assaulted his no, he was never ever rumored to sexually assault anyone. He was not rumored. It is established that fact that at times he will get his dick out for a bit of a laugh, right? And that's how it was treated on set, as we can see by the complete open honesty about it when people talked about it, right? That's it wasn't. They weren't trying to hide it. Rumors of sexually assaulting his work. We would hear about it nonstop for 7 years. No. The reason that people complain about Chris Chibnall because his work was shit, right? In every way. He did what? No, he didn't do any of that, actually. You're just a lying, defamatory cunt. Let's see what we're here. Much weirder, in my opinion, that are the fans who track online footprints of those who work on the show so they can be performatively denounced. Oh, you're good. I like you, Jack. Probably denounce anything that will gain them brownie points in the most unhealthy moralistic recesses of fandom Twitter. Still, though, what Rusty Davis does isn't right either. Personally, I think it's worse. What did he do? You'd like to fucking tweet, you moron. A Doctor Who writer liked an Instagram comment. There are bigger things going on in the world. I understand that certain fans enjoy contriving reasons to condemn showrunners as problematic. But this is just obsessive. Man, Jack, you're on the ball, mate. You're on the ball. Yes, I fully agree the bigger things going on in the world, but I don't give a fuck. I want to have a tantrum. But that doesn't mean it's okay to be to like a reply that was defending John Barrowman, who makes it look like he also would defend John Barrowman, and that's not okay in the slightest. Why not? Again, what do you know about what he actually did? You don't know anything. What act did he do? Of what sexual assault did he do? What did he do? Who was the victim? Do you have any? No, you don't know any of these things, do you? Oh, these people are such. Wait, what? Where? This was a while ago. I saw a post on Doctor Who Facebook pages referring to it, and went to his Instagram to check if it was a real comment, confirmed it. I don't know which of the specific Instagram pics were off the top of my head, though. It seems like some of his team actually liked nearly every comment. I've seen him like say, no, you don't need to excuse what he's doing, right? What he's doing is fine, right? What he's doing is totally normal and fine. You're the weirdo. I kind of find it weirder that people keep looking for what people have liked. I get seeing something sus they post coming up on your timeline, but you have to actively look for the what they've liked a lot of the time. To me, that's just weirdly obsessive. It is. You know why it's weirdly obsessive to you? Because it is weirdly obsessive. Generally think the guy's lost the plot. Well, we agree, but for obviously different reasons. Not been a fan of most of his interviews since the revival. I generally think I'll enjoy the new series more if I don't watch Unleashed and hear rubbish he has to say. Can't disagree with you there, mate. Cannot disagree with you there. And it goes on and on and on. Wow. Says Spooky Sarah. Okay, Spooky Sarah. But he can be friends with anyone he likes. We don't have the right to say, yeah, they think they have every right in the world to do everything, right? What we got here? More people complaining. Russell D. Davis liked to tweet. Russell D. Davis, come on. What's weird is Russell D. Davis doesn't follow him on Instagram anymore, but is still willing to interact with him. It got worse. Literally, John's admitted to it many times, and even Russell Davis' goodbye video during. Yeah, exactly. It wasn't a big deal. But other than you woke skulls who want to have something to condemn. You want to condemn something? That shooty dress fucking normally fucking weirdo. Really? I mean, just really. Just like you seem like a nice guy. I like. Can't you just be a nice gay person? Like I don't get like what's wrong with that? That seems to work for most people for all the time. Just be a nice gay person. Why do you have to be a fruit fucking cake? Oh, this makes me so crazy. Why do you have to be a fruit cake? Because I guess he is. Right? Because I guess he is a fruit cake. This is a really weird place to piss somebody off with, right? And this is like they are super duper pissed off. But it's so funny. Doing share. Okay, so this is my preview of Dark Gallifrey Morbius, which I thought I was reasonably positive about, right? I thought, it looks good. The covers look terrible, right? Okay, so I can't remember what he's replying to, what he's responding to, but it starts off by saying, who gives an F if a woman is a captain? Is the character good? You have no way of knowing until you listen. Well, my guess is pretty good, mate. My press is pretty good. You are correct, they'll cover up, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I respond. The problem with there being a female captain is they only ever have women as captains or in any position of authority. That's true. Big Finish. It just makes me crazy. Like they can't have a man captain, right? It's impossible to them. It's simply mind-numbingly boring. Were you saying the same thing when every person in authority was probably white male? Was that mind-numbing, or did you think it was fine? Yeah, this is the argument we hear so much, right? The argument is, well, it's been men for so long. Now it's women's turn. No, it doesn't work like that way. Human nature remains the same no matter how much you want to change it. Drama, generally speaking, I reply, these reflect the society that's attempting to entertain. In recent years, though, it's been more interested in influencing that society to be what they would prefer it to be. This is very clear in this ridiculous anti-science notion that men and women are universally interchangeable. They're not. Masculinity and femininity are complementary, but very different. And overwhelming the data is that women are given. That the more women are given freedom of choice and opportunity of what they want to do with their life, they skew away from STEM subjects and career-motivated lifestyles. Now, I know you might not like that, right? I know feminists might get ticked off by that, but it still happens to be factual. right? That still happens to be the case. And I'm sorry it makes you so bloody crazy. Where are we up to? This is an absolute rule, of course, but a general trend, okay? So while it's fine and indeed good to have female authoritative characters, making all authoritative characters female is just silly and somewhat belies the sexist idea that women can only have value if they embrace masculine traits and reject their feminine ones. Okay. I mean, I'm not surprising. Okay, I wrote it, so I'm not surprised I agree with myself. Whitey, what are you eating off that table? Okay, what do you have there? Fine, you can have that. It's a cloth. Where are we up to? As for the past authorities' roles, went to white men. Given that society was over 90% white at the time, and the authority was overwhelmingly masculine, and that's in line with society. What's the problem with that? So he got a bit short-sighted, short-circuited at this, right? Like, oh my god, we got a lot to get through. Look at this, right? And this is what shocked me when the times were running. Whitey, what are you doing, darling? Walking around. Fine. To be frank, I find the argument you're making offensive on so many levels. It's Eurocentric. Well, again, Doctor Who is a European show. It's made in England, right? Yeah, it is Eurocentric. It's sexist. No, it's not. And racist. No, it's not. In fact, I believe you're like, how is it sexist? How is it racist? You are arguing the status quo is good, so why show anything that is different? No. I'm arguing, why show something not the status quo and pretend that is the status quo? That's deceptive. Why show that? Why show anything else? Well, because men are in power, it's perfectly fine to just show that. Excuse me, if I may quote you. So it's fine, and indeed a good idea to have female authoritative characters. Yeah, it's exactly. Of course, this is an absolute rule. It's a general trend. No, I'm not saying. So I don't know why in your diseased, insane imagination I said no women can be in authority, which is how you're acting, right? But that's not what was said at all, was it? It's perfectly fine to show that. Why show that anything else is possible? Again, you could show whatever you want, but don't pretend this is in a different society that you're showing. Don't pretend this is our society. And yeah, science fiction is showing our society. Science fiction is always about like Star Trek Discovery is about now. It's not about whatever 300 years in the future, 1,000 years, whatever they put it. It's about now. It's about the most privileged people in the existence of our species, women, right? Especially attractive, college-educated, rich women, right? Saying that they are beaten down, right? And oppressed. So again, why show anything that's not fair? If that was the case, then no one should ever create anything that upsets people in power. Again, oh, what are you doing, darling? Come in. No. Oh, you want to say hello? Or do you want to go away? You want to go away? Okay, stop. Fine. I'm going to have a black state protagonist. According to your argument, the book was mind-numbingly offensive because it did not reflect the society it came from. No, actually, it did, right? That's why it was so effective, right? It absolutely reflected that society, right? And I think God. Here's the trouble with these kids. I'm assuming this guy's a kid because they're just morons. They are absolute morons. According to that does represent society. Fine. It's in fact that was something that does represent society can move society forward and change it. But what doesn't work is showing stuff that isn't society and saying yes it is. Like, stop pretending that women with penises are universally accepted as women. They're not. Okay. Might not be offensive because it did not reflect society. It came from because most people in the book were white, and the book shows black people wanting to get out of their place in society. But again, did it show them like at a disproportionately higher rate in society or in control of society, or did it? No, it showed exactly what the society was. Star Trek should never put white people should never was it? Star Trek should never put no white people on the Enterprise because that's the way things are. No, it wasn't the way things were. That's why the original Star Trek was very good, right? That's the original Star Trek was very, very good because it did do that, right? Ripley should not have been the protagonist alien because women don't go into leadership roles of STEM. I didn't say don't. Again, this isn't an absolute trend, of course, but an absolute rule, of course, but a general trend. Women, the more they skew away from STEM subjects and career mode, skew away, not run like the fucking plague. Again, if you want to have a 30% female crew on Star Trek, that works fine. You want to have a 90% female crew, it's stupid, without saying all the men died or something. Secondly, sci-fi is already a reflection of society it's made it. That reflection can be a reaction against what's happening, but still a reflection. Yeah, again, but nothing's happening other than you idiot kids are tantruming, right? Tantruming over things that aren't real because you have nothing going on in your lives. If you don't like what the show is saying about society, that's on you, not your sci-fi, Ken. But if the sci-fi is saying bullshit, it's on the sci-fi, right? And it's normally saying bullshit while being low quality as well. Lastly, men and women have differences, but the way you put it makes it sound like they're completely different species. No, I just said they're not interchangeable. The difference between men and women are not as vast as insurmountable as you make them out to be. I'm guessing this person isn't married or has never had any long-term relationship, right? A lot of the difference between men and women are societal. Go to a different country, the same societal norms, you will see differences. Yes, but you will see femininity and masculinity universally across the world. Right? You will not see if you go to any other society outside your Western world, right, and say, "Do women have penises?" They'll go, "You're fucking insane, mate." Yeah, they'll say you're off your bloody tree. Because a lot of what people see as gender difference are societal expectations placed on men and women. I understand that's your opinion, and it's an uneducated opinion. You're saying the same thing twice. So I said, cautionary tales, Brave New World at 5. Shall we have a quick reply? A quick reply. Okay. I just went over your comments on a live stream. I'll post a link to it later with a time index so you can go directly to it. In short, you're triggered beyond rationality and imagining I said a lot of things I didn't. I mean, again, it's there's more. So it hasn't changed by dogmatically sticking to the status quo. I understand. No, now say okay. Now in the second one, you say yes, we want to change society. I'm glad you want to change it. We fucking don't. Leave us alone. You know what? We don't because we're married and we have children. We have lives. And we know that what you want to do is going to be a fucking disaster, which I didn't. You created a series of straw man arguments which you could easily knock down rather than addressing the points I actually made. As I said, I'll post me going over it for you, and you are more than welcome to come on the channel and have your say. I think that's quite decent of me, right? I think it's pretty decent. Okay, doink. And okay, so I like every comment, so I know I responded to it. And here's the thing: when it's an imbecile arsehole, I always go love, because they can't resist. Come trottering after it, right? They can't resist it. They're like, oh, somebody liked me putting the rabbi down, and they go, oh, it's a rabbi, right? They cannot, not take the cheese, right? They can't do it.
The villains and the monsters, when it comes to Doctor Who, though, they are kind of the lifeblood of it because of what they represent.
Let's look at a episode guide. Doctor Who episode guide. I think by season 2, the 2006, I think they had it down.
What do we hold up and say, yes, this was right? Because it doesn't have to be the most elaborate plan. I think if we believe that they are absolute scum and that their convictions are completely kind of ingrained in them, then we invest in the story.
Okay, but we got a few great examples here. Got the Slitheen. They like one story they're in, right? And then never saw them again. They were in Sarah Jane Adventures, but they're like etched into the memory, right? They are people still remember Slitheen. The empty child, are you my mummy? That's I think that's like iconic. So that's season 1. Season 2.
You wouldn't call the empty child thing. It's more of a meme than a monster, though, isn't it? It's not. It's something that happens to people, and we remember. Are you my mummy? It's that people remember. It's not a monster as such. Kind of like the Vashta Narada is a monster, though, because they've got a kind of.
I hear what you're saying. And look, you got the werewolf here from Tooth and Claw. You have Cassandra. She's a villain monster. She's both. Right.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Then you got, I think, the Ood. They were a great monster. I love the Ood. A replacement for the supposed to be a cheaper replacement than the Slitheen. Then you got the old ones, Cybermen and Daleks. But I like the all these ones had great villains. By the time we got over here, it's really kicking.
The Dalek sex sort of human hybrid thing was very memorable, and I think Mark Gatiss was good in Lazarus as well. I know some people don't rate him in
Human Nature, Family of Blood. I mean, like fantastic.
They were good villains. Yeah.
I don't think you can fault them having like shitty villains. Let's go and look at the Moffat years. 11th Hour, best opening of any Doctor ever, right? We got, Flesh and Tone, Time of the Angels. Yeah, the Angels, a great monster. Vampires of Venice was a great monster. Silurians were a bit naff. And listen, I love the Marvel style, like Pandorica opens.
Yeah, so do I. Yeah,
right, that was just awesome. We had Churchill with it. It was just great, right? I really love that. Okay, the big monsters you get on the big concepts that you get in Christmas. So I love Christmas Carol. That's very iconic. I think Sarduk is a Valak Sar, whatever his name is. He's an iconic villain. I think the Silence, man, what a great monster they are. Like genuinely terrifying
because they're proper monstrous. They have. Right. Visage that would have sent the kids behind the sofa. I think that's what they need to do, really. I mean,
they need to be scary.
Has anything got the power? Is that harder to do? We say this decade after decade. Our kids just aren't scared of the things they were scared of. It's harder to scare kids. But no, I agree. I think if you plant the seed of an idea there, then it will. Prime example is Anne Reid's character in Smith & Jones, the old woman with a straw that she's going to put in your ear. She looks like your nan, and and yet that is pretty scary. It's because of the performance, because of the idea.
It's great when you have a villain and you don't know if it's good or bad, and it turns out to be Mallow. You think it could be good, Flatline's a great example of that. You didn't know if the monsters in the two. I love Flatline. That's one of the best. That's the best episode of that season, right? You don't know if the monsters are malign or not, right? Until you actually meet them and they are evil, and it's awesome that they're evil, right? I really enjoyed that. Mom and the Orient Express. That was also the other good episode. Second Invasion. So yeah, look again. It's a very good balance. 70-30, right? It got about 60-40 over here, which is where I think it started to fall over. I love the Monk trilogy. Everybody hates the Monks. I like the Monk trilogy. I thought that was good. So yeah, and again, I don't think Doctor Who went on after that.
But what constitutes the sort of the monstrous? Now, there's only so many times you can put humans into rubber suits, isn't there? So, should it all be? I think if it's all CGI, if they just create like the Goblin King in the Christmas one, if they just start creating more and more fantastical blobby creatures and things,
that was practical.
Was it all practical? Oh no, yeah. Well, wasn't it a mixture of both?
Yeah.
So probably a bad example.
Same with Beat the Meat. Beat the Meat was very successful. I think that was the most successful effect they had on the.
You see what I'm saying, though? If they just create sort of gelatinous creatures one after another that can be sort of interchangeable and seem like generic sci-fi monsters, then that will lessen the show as well.
Well, yeah. I mean, like you have to hope they're going to have enough of a ability to write. Like why is it that you kept getting great monsters from Moffat? He knew how to write. You got the Silence, you got Weeping Angels. What's the other ones? You got I can't remember. You got a Vast Narada. You got a bunch of really creepy monsters, right? I think that all had a very good visual element. Like I like the Vast Narada with the skeletons in the spacesuits. I thought that was a very good. And they're fine for a one-story monster, right? Which I think Doctor Who can really do well. And they are a one-story monster essentially, except from Big Finish.
So, what does Screen Rant reckon that the ongoing monster problem is?
Let's find this. Doctor Who's monsters have had an issue for a while, but there's an easy way the franchise can make the necessary corrections to its formula. Let's see what they are. Doctor Who has many upsides, but the show has had issues with its villains in recent years. Well, everything from Capaldi onwards. Don't say in recent years. It's just like from Chibnall onwards. After the excitement of the ending of the Doctor's 6th anniversary special and Christmas episode, season 14 has potential to be one of the show's best installments yet. I don't think so. Right? I honestly, the feeling I get is if you scrape by, you're doing well. Right? I mean, that's where I am. If you scrape by, you're doing well. And I don't think it's going to scrape by. Really, I don't. And I think Ncuti and Millie have a lot of potential. Firing Millie at this point was just that it got out really hurt the show. Right, and it's amazing they thought it wouldn't get out, right? Because they had no strategy, obviously, because they still haven't said anything. Fine, what we're up to. Information regarding the incoming bad guys has been scarce so far. Russell Davies doesn't need to dig too deeply into the catalogue of villains. I think they're going to be new to keep things fresh. I think like viewers haven't seen the last of two specific Davis monsters. I bet they have. During the 60th, press 60th, blah, 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 blah. Some bad guys, blah, blah, blah. No. Who do you think? Both the approaches have a pros and cons. Okay, talking about different monsters. Doctor Who has a monster problem. Just tell me the fucking problem! Fuck me! You paid by the syllable, you cunt! What is up with you? Oh!
Yeah, they don't want to be pinned down to it, do they?
I mean, really? I don't get it. I mean, are they paid by the word? I guess.
I'd say so.
It looks like it, doesn't it? Anyway, wait. Turn my camera back on. Doink. Oh, Bron B's there. He didn't Bron B.
Hey.
So what's the issue? Currently, Doctor Who villains tend to fall into one or two categories. The first being a disposable kind that only features once. That's fine. I only saw the mummies in Pyramids of Mars once. It was fine.
Tim Shaw, he was one of those, and they brought him back for the finale.
They did, I forgot they did because nobody gives a shit. Like,
do you
remember no one gives a shit. Currently, Doctor Who villains, blah 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 blah. The first disposable kind. The other type that they comes back too often, which can be equally tiring. For instance, the episodes that the Doctor's facing up against the dark side men are starting to reach saturation point. No, you've got to have a good story. And again, I think that you really see that from the early years, right? Where they kept doing interesting things with the Daleks. You had the Daleks, then you had, Dalek Invasion of Earth, which was like the obvious place to go. They come to Earth. And then you have the chase where it gets bonkers.
Well, that's the Dalek invasion. That's the Dalek invasion of time, isn't it? So it's an extension. We've got invade the Earth, invade time, and then all-out war in the Dalek Masterplan.
Yeah, and then
because they can't really get any bigger than that.
So then they go very small, isn't it? With the power of the Daleks.
Yeah, which is the mistake that that's what Marvel Studios should have done after the Avengers and everything went huge.
Really should have done.
Brought it back down.
They
Brought
should
it to
have
street
done
level.
a really authentic street level Daredevil movie.
I was just about to say.
Yeah. With the background of the Marvel universe, and that's really important. Is that they had a whole series of things they did on Netflix that were nearly good, but they should have done that as movies in the next phase and then build up slowly, right? Yeah, what can you do? Anyway, where are we up to? Fine. Episodes that there's only fine. So what do you do? The modern era of Doctor Who's already introduced compelling bad guys and expertly woven into the fabric of the universe. For instance, the Jadu and the Weeping Angels are doing good as well. But they've involved in storylines. However, even these two races have always been thoroughly explored and are the brink of overuse. So Davis should return to the more recent stories to find the perfect middle ground between. Okay, fuck me. So he likes Beat the Meat.
Is that what this is getting around to?
Fuck me. That literally, this article is, I like Beat the Meat. That's good for you, mate. I like Beat the Meat too. I thought that was one of the best things of the season. Right? The Starbeast will hopefully be the first appearance of many. No, you fucking moron. Okay. Firstly, I think he probably will come back, right? But it was a very expensive effect to do to not reuse again. But you like the inventiveness, the newness, the freshness. You want that. Cocksucking cunt moron. Oh, God. So annoying. Anyway, introducing the Starbeast, the opening episode, Beat the Meat, surprisingly threatening, blah, blah, blah. This is really it, isn't it? Unbelievable. Not only does the episode villain state they'll escape their imprisonment, but we know he's coming back. Doctor Who's not things are too good, not true. So you just want all the things from and also Neil Patrick Harris. You want all of them back, right? You just really like the specials. This guy really liked the specials.
That's what it comes down to.
Specials for Ncuti Gatwa. Oh, Daniel Beebe. Let's have a look and see what's more about.
I like how he's calling it season 14. So he's not going with the conventional series.
Yeah, he's not really together. He's writing Taylor Swift articles. Okay, I don't know. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.